The backend just flagged it. Bitcoin broke below 60,000, and it's down 18% on the week. Confirmed bear market, 2 closes below the 50-week. We wrap on today's #1 ETF and stock. Don't skip the end. SPY just posted its first red day, down over 1% since this rally began. The system clocked that shift immediately. What's harder to ignore is the divergent stack. SPX is carrying triple bearish divergences across RSI, MACD, and the Awesome Oscillator, all at once. The counterweight is COT data, showing large speculators piling short, which sets up a squeeze if anything positive hits. And SPY did set a new all-time high last Thursday, up 19.1% from the recent low. Mixed picture, but that divergent stack doesn't resolve quietly. The macro readout is what's keeping everything on edge. The 30-year Treasury yield clocked 5%, the highest it's been since the run-up to the global financial crisis. And U.S. net interest expense is now sitting at 20% of total tax revenues. The 10-year is at 4.52, and the dollar's at 100.07, both reinforcing a higher-for-longer path on rates. TLT is watching 86 as resistance. That's the level the system has flagged as the macro pivot. Energy took a direct hit from the jobs data. WTI dropped 2.7% to 90.54, as dollar strength from the May payrolls report did exactly what you'd expect. To crude. Contested Iran headlines are still in the geopolitical feed, but haven't been enough to flip the directional read. Oil is still up roughly 80% year-to-date, so we're talking about a pullback inside a much bigger move. But the system's workflow stays bearish until the chart says otherwise. Dollar strength and rate expectations are doing the work here. Gold settled near $4,331, with the macro lid still on. COPX, the copper miner ETF, broke below 87.49 support, and copper's late-week pullback is what the system needed to confirm a bearish read. Both rate sensitivity and dollar pressure are showing up in the data simultaneously, which is a tough environment for metals to find traction. International equities didn't get a pass. EEM is testing 64.59 as support, while EFA retreated under the same jobs-driven rate pressure you're seeing across every asset class. Japan's EWJ is holding relative leadership, and that's a yen dynamics story. The scan picked it up as the clear outlier. EEM at 64 is the level that matters. Acceptance below that changes the read on emerging markets in a meaningful way. Crypto is the cleanest bear signal in the system right now. Bitcoin printed 59,900 Friday, down 6.14% on the session and 18% on the week. That's a confirmed bear market, 2 consecutive weekly closes below the 50-week moving average. ETF outflows are running $4.4 billion over 13 sessions, with every key moving average acting as overhead resistance. The chart and momentum are both pointing the same direction. Here's the best of best page live. 59 symbols in the shortlist after the full scan ran. Top sectors are XLK, XLI, and XLB, tech, industrials, materials. Worth noting, all 3 are in lagging state right now, which tells you something about where relative strength actually sits versus the broad market. The #1 ETF and #1 stock from this list are coming up next. 3 sectors at the top of the ranking board. XLK at 180.3, down 6.66%. Tech is absorbing the most drawdown in the current environment. XLI comes in at 174.18, down 1.12, and XLB rounds out the top 3 at 50.63, down 1.92. All 3 reading lagging state. That's the system's current relative strength picture across the sector universe. #1 ETF out of the scan is AIQ, Global X Artificial Intelligence and Technology, sitting at 62.52, down 8.15% on the move. That's a significant drawdown, and it's a direct read on how hard the AI theme is getting hit right now. Signal State needs a direct check inside SignalFinder Pro before drawing any conclusions. The infographic has the full setup breakdown. The system ranked this one first out of the entire ETF list. And the #1 stock from the scan is LSTR, Landstar System, at 218.06, down less than 1% on the move. That's notably resilient relative to most of what got hit today, and it's why the system surfaced it at the top of 59 shortlisted names. Landstar is freight and logistics. The infographic breaks down the setup, and Signal State needs a direct verify inside SignalFinder Pro before it's actionable. Full system readout. Index is mixed, with triple divergences building and COT positioning setting up a potential squeeze. Macro heavy, with a 30-year yield at 5%, the number that mattered most this week. Energy and metals bearish, international sold off on rate pressure. Crypto down 18% on the week in a confirmed bear market. SignalFinder Pro's best of best surfaces AIQ as the #1 ETF and LSTR as the #1 stock. And remember, this is educational, not financial advice. Do your own homework.